Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we are going for amazingly fun deck that feels more control deck than actually as per now to a big extent. So if you are loving any control type of play, this deck will make you warm and fuzzy inside. So basically, this is Hinata deck, but it has some new toys, and like this deck is really extremely heavy on the skill. And I know this sounds a bit funny, but you have so many decisions with this deck. We'll go into them during the games as well, but just the fact that you can discount based on how many targets you have. So this is of course the main focus of the deck, Hinata Downcrowned, 4 mana for 4 Flying Templar, and it gets discount for every target for each spell. So it means that we play a lot of cards that have a lot of targets. For example, March of the Swirling Mist. Usually you need to exile cards to pay for this mana cost if you want to exile her boards. With Hinata, it is always 1 mana, exile any amount of creatures. You can clearly see the potential. And the second big thing is Magma Opus, and this can get discounted up to 2 mana. That's insane. If you cast it for 2 mana, you are so ahead on the board. So basically you need to have 4 targets, and remember, you can target your own Hinata and your own face. If you don't love yourself, you can just smirk yourself. Because then it's additional target, it means 1 less mana to cast, and sometimes it makes a huge difference. And what I really like about this deck has creatures that needs to be protected, and this deck does great job at protecting them. So we have 3 Negates, 3 Jwari, and 1 Disdainful Stroke. We also have Valorous Stance, not my favorite card, but it has its use in this deck, definitely. It's 1 mana, protect Hinata or protect Goldspan Dragon, and it's also a removal, so overall a good card as well. But the fact that we have negates, usually you need 2 mana for this, but with this deck, our only big creatures, except Fable of course, is Goldspan Dragon, which creates Treasure, that creates 2 mana, so we can cast Negate, and Hinata, that makes Negate cost only 1 blue mana, because it has a target. So it means that you have 5 mana, you cast Hinata, and then you cast Negate. If you can protect Hinata from removal spells that the enemy was waiting to use on you, on those tasty little creatures that you have, you are winning the game very quickly usually. And this is the reason why we have 3 Jwari. And someone could say, man, you don't play Jwari in 3-color deck. And normally you are right. But here our mana base is really easy to make. You usually don't get screwed with this deck. I actually got more mana screwed with Triumph decks than this one. And when you go into the deck list, you see that we play only 1 Triumph. Those 3 Jwaris are 3 Triumphs that we switched, because this is the part of the deck that comes into play tapped. So instead of making 3 mana, you just make 1 mana, but you have counter spell available. And believe me, with Hinata, it comes into play really fast. Sometimes if you are on the play, you have 5 mana when the enemy has 4 mana, right? So countering 1 spell with Negate, and then usually having Jwari for the follow-up turn, or even if you have 6 mana or 1 treasure, because you can have treasure with the Fable. So then you cast Hinata, you attack with the token, make a treasure, and suddenly you can negate 1 of the spells, and usually enemy is tapped out fully in order to make this 1 winning play on Jwari. So yeah, that's pretty important. Actually, I just realized that Hinata has the other part. Spells your opponent casts cost 1 more to cast for each target. You might see in the videos that I didn't care about it too much, because I'm a dummy. But I think that's really important to remember as well, especially if you go for multiple spells. So this is why Jwari is really important in this deck. It's better than in the other decks by far. Okay, and going back into the deck, we have pretty usual package of iteration, because it's a good card. Abrade, Spikefield Hazard. Always be careful how you play it. You will see in one of the games how big of a difference it makes if you don't identify correctly enemy deck. And yeah, Magma Opus, sometimes you even discard it for treasure, but it's very niche situation, and you really need to think about what is the game plan. If you don't need value for the full game, you can discard it and just play your Goldspan or Hinata 1 turn earlier, but it's a risky play. You need to realize what you are doing. Other than this, we have also Inscription of Insight. Very interesting card. It didn't really come into play in this video, so if you are up because of the inscription, I'm sorry, I've tried, but it is also a very good combination with Hinata because you have like 2 targets for the bouncing and 1 target for the player. So basically you can get 3 mana discount, so you can cast it with Kicker for 1 mana plus Kicker 4, so it's basically 5 mana for all those effects. That's pretty huge, and you can cast it as a follow-up after you play Hinata, in case enemy doesn't play like removal deck or something, so you can really just sweep the board, return 2 creatures, then you can create a big illusion spell and also draw cards, so you can set up for the next turn. So against any kind of aggressive deck that let Hinata onto the board and you can untap, this pretty much swipes the board and makes sure that you don't lose on it. Yep, that was the deck, and for my impression of the deck, it is a very fun deck to play. Like, you have so many decisions, you have so many discounts, you can cycle cards, you can decide when to play Jwari, when to play Spikefield, you can play around Goldspan and all this mana, and the fact that you can make sure that you counter the only winning thing for the enemy with negates, with Jwari, and to be honest, I think this deck and those games that we played, man, you can clearly see after watching the video that I feel super smart about those plays, and I will say, I think that was pretty good plays overall. And with this deck you can make those. You have those key decisions that if you know what the enemy will be doing, you can really counter it so hard they will just scoop on the plays. And that's what I really like about this deck. It feels like a control, even though like Jeskai is a bit, yeah, it's a control archetype, but you know, Esper and Dimir are usually the first one to come into mind. And this feels like a control a bit more than current Esper even. So I really like this part. On the like how good the deck is, to be honest, for me it was around 50%. It works great when it works, but sometimes you miss part of the combo, and sometimes you get negates against mono white or March. It's not so great, but to be perfectly honest, I think I could win a lot of more games if I played better, because with this deck every single detail matters. So if you miss 1 mana, you play wrong pathway, you play Spikefield Hazard on the first turn when you should actually keep it. When you tap out 1 more 2 mana for Hinata, you sacrifice 1 more to treasure. Every bit of those things can win or lose you the game at some point, because the game is usually packed in like first 6 turns. So every mana counts. So that's something I really like about the deck, and if you are really good at it, I think you can get pretty decent win rate with this, but it's really hard to play, especially with the fact that, yeah, you have so many things to do and so many things to consider. One of the important stuff, remember, you can target your own Goldspan Dragons. In case you have, for example, 2, with Hinata in the field, you can actually target your own dragons, make 2 additional treasures, which account for 4 mana, and then get 2 mana discount on the Magma Opus. Those are things that sometimes make a huge difference, so don't forget about it. Okay, and enough of me rambling. If you like this kind of control decks, as always, subscribe. I really appreciate you supporting the channel, and you guys were awesome lately, so really thank you for this. And yeah, subscribe and enjoy the games. Okay, I think that's a really good draw. We are on the play, we have Fable. What not to laugh? And we have Negate, my favorite card in all Magic the Gathering. 2 mana, you do nothing with most of your cards. That's just sweet. Okay, jokes aside, what are we going for? We need blue more than white, so let's go like this. If we had Hinata, we could even ramp into it, her, him, whatever. Okay, so we know exactly what we play against. This will make Valkyrie a target for stance, so we are fine with this. Do we ramp with Magma? So we play Fabled, right? We make the token, then enemy plays Valkyrie, then we untap, kill her with Valorous Stance, and cycle some cards. And then we have Negate, right? If we hit land. So I think that's fine. I think we need Magma for like value play at some point. So that's the plan for the next 2 turns. Let's see if it works exactly as we wanted. Also, he cannot block the token easily when we kill the Valkyrie. There is a chance that he doesn't have Valkyrie, but come on, let's be honest. Actually, Giada, yeah, see? Always freaking. You can just bet your game plan around the Valkyrie every single time, and it will always work. And I mean, like, always. March, man, it's so many decisions with this deck. March can be good, but I don't think that's the prime card. Negate will be useful probably at some point. Valorous Stance definitely this turn play. Like, how Negate is good, really? Okay. I'm not sure about this decision at all. And I mean at all. I'm happy about drawing another one. Like, honestly. So, let's do what we have to do. Destroy target creature. Bye. Now let's attack. He won't trade. But our token is also really scary. Okay. And we want what? We have double blue. Let's go for red, because we have double red for the Goldspan. And honestly, I think we might even Magma Opus, at least one of them, to ramp into Goldspan if Negate isn't used. Realm Walker. That's some tech angel. Like, when you filter by angel, it will show up. You can believe on this one. Enemy still has 2 mana. I hope he doesn't have any angel to play it. Like, we definitely want to ramp and just smork him with dragon. Man, we are making so many treasures. My heart bleeds by losing this value, but I think like this will become 2 mana at this turn. And that's really huge. And right now when we have Goldspan, Kiki-Jiki and this all stuff, man, like, we are freaking doing it, I think. We could even Magma Opus right now, but I still think Goldspan is the way to go. So, bro, we will make full stops, because we are a smarty gamer, and we want to use this small brain of ours, this smooth one. Okay, and now we can cast Magma Opus. And how do we do it, really? We could cast it at the upkeep by sacrificing this token, and honestly it feels like a way better play. I just changed my mind. Because we could make sure that he cannot block and that he loses creature. Oh, you know what? This is also pretty good. So right now we can kill both of those creatures. How good is it, really? Then he get 1 cast, but then we get Goldspan Dragon. So I honestly think that's okay. Yep. And whatever. Like, we can actually tap this. Yes, I want to tap it. You can abuse some value with Magma Opus and Goldspan. We will get treasure, and this means another Negate, which can be game winning, depending on what happens. And that's how we win the game with this deck. Sorry, my friend, I did not intend to block you. And I think this was game winning play. Right now we have perfection. Oh my god, I feel such a smart person right now. If we didn't target our own Goldspan Dragon, we would lose this. Can you freaking imagine? I heard more Goldspans are better. Oh man, that has to be the most fulfilling game of today. Just the fact that our small treasure thing won us the game is just so great. By the way, enemy is playing Angels with Realm Walker and Doomskar. Okay, sure, why not? And we have so much mana that, sure, enemy can play Doomskar, but he's at 2 and we have Hall. Yep. You need a lot of stuff, bro. That's not enough stuff. And we can also copy the Hall, which is pretty amazing, actually. Let's play this bad boy. And actually, we have to sacrifice the treasure, so we want to do this better. So we can copy Hor without sacrificing treasure. So yeah, that was a really nice outplay. Remember, when you cast Magma Opus, you can target your own Goldspan Dragons and ramp the mana this way, even without Hinata. And if you have multiples, you can split tapping or 1 damage each, and then you get treasure for everything. As you can see, this was a game-winning move. Oh man, I'm really not sure about this hand. We don't really do anything. Like, we can ramp into card draw. Is that really game winning? Oh man, what do we need? Enemy goes first as well. I think it's a mulligan. It's just way too slow. Like, this is way better. We move March to the bottom, because that's pretty much like the combo with Hinata to protect it, her, this, whatever. So if we don't come near this type of play, we just get Jwaris. I think we might need both Jwaris, so let's start like this. This will be tricky hand. I think we need to get a lot of additional time. That's a good draw. 2 or more. Yeah, okay. Just making sure, you know. Like, we keep drawing lands. Maybe we should play the pathway. Double white. We won't need it. We have white and red here. So that's actually pretty good. We cannot remove anything. Yes. Yes. Go into Jwari. Man, like, playing Jwari in 3-color deck feels awkward, but so far it is working. Okay, we definitely want this. And we will see what he plays. I think now he will play around Jwari, so we probably Abrade in response to the counter. They don't really have many instants usually, so I don't think they can protect it. We could main phase it, but I think it's usually... Like, when you play versus enchantments, you really want to mess with them, you know? Oh man. Oh man, that's hard. Because we can Jwari it. And he seems to be mana screwed. But if we let this counter in, then we cannot kill the Kami anymore. So if we Abrade, what do we do about the Weaver? We probably Jwari whatever he plays. I guess. I can see it as a mistake. It will come back as well, so it's not perfect, but I fear that after it goes to 4 toughness, we won't have good time playing against it. Let's start with Iteration. Okay. Oh man, that's really good. I think I want Hinata, right? Because I have different Magma Opus. And let's put in this bad boy into library. Yeah, like, I think that's a really good draw overall. And let's go for red, because Magma Opus will be 2 colored mana. And now we have both Negate and Jwari open. So I really hope we hit something, and then we can work through this. Like, when we play Hinata and can protect her with Negate, man, I need to... Oh yes. Oh, this feels so freaking good. Unfortunately, when we kill enchantment, they will get a lot of value. And you can see Weaver on its own, not so hot. Okay, we definitely... Oh man. Is this the right tap? With this deck, you need to be really careful. I'm pretty sure that's the worst tap possible. We cannot cast anything if he taps like this. Man, like, this is horrible. Red, white, and blue. Yeah. Actually, this is optimal tapping. I have no idea why the hell would you ever tap like this. We don't have single card that we can cast for this. So you need to be really careful. I hope he has some removal. Well, he gets to draw a card, but believe me, our stuff will be a bit better. So yeah, he draws 2 cards and that was his turn. Not so hot if you ask me. Okay, and first of all let's attack. I like smorking them. And here is where the fun begins. So usually you want to cast Magma Opus on the upkeep. You could ask why. They can untap, but at the same time you can get rid of their mana. So let's go. I think we have enough mana to play like this. I won't be counting because we are recording. And now let's tap. You need to tap it on the upkeep so they cannot use it for the general game plan. Oh man, that feels so good. Oh, and he did it again. That's the worst tap possible. We needed Negate. With this deck you really need to be careful. It does it every single time pretty much. Like, I hope we won't get punished, but that was game losing mistake right now. And you really need to be careful about this auto tapper. It seems to always tap in the worst possible way. That was a good game still. Like, he got a bit unfortunate with this. And for anyone that is thinking about playing tricolor deck and Jwari, you can see how big of a difference it made. Imagine we had triumphs. We would lose this so freaking hard. Okay, going first with very decent hand. We probably shouldn't start with the Spikefield Hazard. You know what, let's make sure that we hit this one. This bad boy. We have so many 2-drops that we can survive tapped land later. And I want to make sure that we hit the right cards, really. Okay, sure. So let's prepare ourselves for the Deadly Dispute that we counter with Jwari, most likely. Okay, interesting. I expect it to be the end step play, and I think he didn't want to do it. It means that when we Spikefield Hazard the Gust, then he will do it. So I think we just chill out. Will he do it now? He shouldn't. That's the worst moment to do it, really. Because then he taps out himself and we untap. So I hope he does it. But he was thinking about it so hard. I believe this land is a statement. It's not a land, it's just showing pure domination. But yeah, we aren't scared of this 1-1. And if he tries to sacrifice it, maybe right now we don't Jwari it and to Negate is a bit too good, but we have options then. And we take our time with Hinata, like zero pressure from the enemy right now. And the fact that we can play iteration, oh man, we need the blue land, right? We will definitely hit a blue land, definitely. See, easiest blue of my life. Not for a single moment I had doubts. Man, this is amazing. Like, we are going into like full beast mode with this. Like, when we play Hinata, he cannot counter because of the wrong colors. Sure, enjoy. Like, Disdainful Stroke is such a good card in this situation. It hits pretty much every scary card that they have. And we are set for this turn, I believe. So he has 7 mana, we can counter the big play. Then we cast Hinata and we have double counter spell. Oh, that's interesting. Really tempting to Jwari. Really tempting. But I will defend, I will resist this urge to just force him to burn 1 treasure. And the reason is that he has only 1 big play right now. That's okay, but we can kill it very easily at some point of the game. Maybe not now, but we will. And if he goes for the slower play, we have... Like with Hinata, we can outpace him. Okay, I'm not super... That's a good draw. That's honestly a very good draw. And Autotapper, our arch enemy, actually did the right thing here. We can only counter 1 of the spells, but I hope that's fine. We will see. Is there priority? No, there is not. It means that he doesn't have... Oh, that is a priority. But from the Skullport Merchant, maybe. Like, we can protect it from 1 spell. It's unfortunate we don't have blue, so this one should be blue in the end. Okay, so this one will definitely protect. 1 to go. Do we want to go for Abrade on the treasure? I don't think we do. It doesn't seem very impactful. Okay, I got scared. Like this mountain instead of island. Like, no man. We definitely need more blue. If we had it, in this situation I guess it wouldn't change anything. You got it, but we are 5-5 on the cards. What, we need to go for Goldspan Dragon Madness right now. Definitely blue. Learned my lesson. And you know what we have to do. Let's do the thing. The Disdainful Stroke unfortunately isn't great at protecting creatures. Maybe he has some Hagra Mauling. Let's hope. Men can hope, right? Smart. Okay. I hope for a big Lolf or something like this, and then we counter her, and then we smork, draw Magma Opus, and then we finish the job with Hall of the Storm Giant. That's my imagination about this game. Well, decent draw from the enemy, but we also had a very good one, to be fair. The Swan damage, oh man, I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just tap out completely to kill this. Maybe. I hope he's run out of removal, and he plays Sloth, taps out, and then we win. Oh, that's a very expensive spell. Do we go for double Jwari? Of course we do. Of freaking course. By the way, Skullport Merchant, remember what your mage did, because he didn't care about you. I care about you way more than him. Venzo is not a good master. Come here. You can go to the better wizard. Because we are all wizards here, right? Okay, I think that was a good play. It was a bit like card intensive. By the way, we can smork for 11. And then still have mana for the stroke. Feels pretty good. Smork. And I'm pretty sure he regrets this attack very much right now. Merchant, like, this guy wasn't good to you at all. Like, you were the best part of this game. I will always cherish moment we met the Skullport Merchant from Venzo, and he was sacrificed on the altar of winning the game at all cost. Do you want to attack for 1? I encourage you to. Oh, not so shabby. Bye. Perfect freaking place. That's why you are on this channel, right? We did perfect with every single card. If we use this Disdainful Stroke for the previous spell, right now we wouldn't be able to tap out him, I think. He would have another treasure and he would be able to pay 2 mana and we would lose. Okay, that's a really good hand. So basically, our enemy avatar is Halana and Alina, and he's top 200, so I'm pretty sure this will be aggressive deck. So Abrade is very good. Like, you will see. You will definitely see. We can play like this. We need white for Hinata, so red. Oh, enchantments. You got me. You got me. Still, not within the scope of 200. So we definitely want to drop. I don't think we need more than 1 white for now. So let's make sure that we have red. So Naturalist, right? That's the next step. Sure. It will slow them down. This will grow very quickly, and we have damage-based removal, so we would much rather have stuff on curve. Let's play this one. This bad boy, to make sure that we have all the mana available. And you know, thanks to removal we have initiative, so he can play natural. By the way, Otawara is like better than removal in this matchup. Man, like they always have it. That's interesting play. Negate is really good here. Man, all of those cards are pretty good. Like, we can play Hinata and have Negate up. Do we really get rid of Otawara? I don't think so. We have legendary creature and it gets discount, so it costs 2, right? Spells. No, it's not a spell. It's a channel. It's an ability. So it will cost 3, but it's still so good. March seems like a game win. Man, I feel super bad. I like all those cards. I like those cards way too much. I like my cards. So, let's attack. I like attacking with my Goblin Shaman that tries to resurrect the original Kiki-Jiki. If anyone played Tooth and Nail, you remember this card, the original one. And let's play Hinata. Do we want the treasure? They could remove the treasure, but I don't think they're this kind of gamer. Like they're playing enchantments. Why do we bother? And March is something that will win us the game most probably, so we really want to hold on to it. It's the play for this one turn when the enemy thinks he will just smork you and life gain 20, and then it turns out he doesn't have a board. Scary, but okay. It's good that Hinata is flying. That's what I thought. Haha, gotcha. Gotcha, that's exactly what I hoped for, to be honest. Usually this is the step when they have enough mana and they try to go for value. Okay. Not the best draw probably, but we'll try to make it work. And let's smork, right? Smorking seems pretty fun. I think we keep the stroke. They very often have two of those things. If we play Goldspan, man, if they play another hunting and we don't have this up, we are a super sad person. So they attack for 4, they heal up. They might play Runeforge. They might even play Scald or something like this. I think we don't tap out. It feels like a super bad choice. And I will make a stop. Actually, I don't need, because we have March. You don't want to show... Yes! Yes! Oh man, I got so excited I choked nearly. Oh, it feels good. And by the priority, they don't have another play, I think. That was way too quick. Can we kill them? I think we can. So basically we get rid of this, we phase it out. And by the way, enemy doesn't have discount, so if he wanted to play some 4-drop, he cannot. And then what? We play Goldspan Dragon for everything, and then we cannot activate the Kiki-Jiki. But it's what? 10 damage, 12. So we kill them, right? Am I right? It's not the play I wanted to do, but you know what? It's good enough. It's freaking good enough. And please don't copy Hinata, because you can't. Good! Perfect Rifa against enchantments. Man, that feels good. I'm proud of this game. Disdainful Stroke was game-winning move. If we played everything, we would probably die. Yeah, they would ramp so much with these discounts. Yep, that's a play I was proud of. So I think that's a decent hand. Of course we are on the draw, but maybe with Spikefield Hazard it's actually not so bad. Yep, because now we get to see what the colors enemy is playing. It might be some kind of aggressive Esper. Grixis, okay, that's pretty good. So we don't need a lot of red. Let's go for blue. And let's make sure that our Jwari are doing stuff. And I think they should. Like, this is one of the matchups when they are good. I expect for mana play most of the time. And I don't want to discard Magma Opus. It's not really the deck where you want to do it. And this will be definitely tricky. It will be hard game. We need to bait him into playing something big and tapping out. Yep. And at some point Jwari will stop being useful. Dusk Mangler. I already like the guy. 7 mana, as additional cost, sacrifice creature, discard card, pay for life. When enters battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature, discards, and loses. Oh man, that's pretty good, but quite expensive. Is it some kind of reanimator then? It seems like reanimator, for some reason. Oh, so they have this flash thing for 5 mana. Okay, so do we play Hinata here? They cannot reanimate, they can reanimate main phase. Enters battlefield. So then we sacrifice Hinata and we cannot do anything, so doesn't sound extremely great, to be perfectly honest. And this won't kill it. So hopefully we can do it. Unfortunately, when we play Hinata, even with one additional blue, what is the mode? Search for a reanimation spell. Okay, you got it. I'm not happy about the fact that he waited for one additional mana. It means that he might play around Jwari. He sees the 3-color deck though, so maybe. Like so far we didn't have any troubles with mana base while having Jwaris, and Jwaris are usually the stuff. Okay, so that's the turn when he will flash stuff. I think if we would discarded Magma Opus, he would... Man, like, it is possible that that is the right play. Like, this one extra treasure makes all the difference in the world. And I think we will bait him into playing the reanimation spell. It's not the value play. Okay. And we didn't bait him. Man, I should have played Jwari last turn. We have this Disdainful Stroke. So the problem is that when Hinata enters the battlefield, that's great, right? We can cast Disdainful Stroke. But before, when it's on the stack, he just casts the reanimation spell, gets the Dusk Mangler. I guess then we don't have to sacrifice a creature, because there's no creature. And when Hinata is on the battlefield, then we just counter. But then he can do it main phase again. Well, then we can cast Hinata and protect her, or whatever. Man, I don't know. The spirit. We can protect the spirit. So I think, yeah, like, he has no way to do it to kill Hinata if he wants to reanimate. Okay, I'm happy with this. Having 1 mana hard counter spells seems pretty good to me. So I expect reanimation. Okay. I see. That's also not great because it goes around this. Oh man, that kind of sucks. You got me. Okay, this is one thing I didn't expect. And that's a big problem with this deck, because everyone is teching against mono white. So Ray is a real thing. And it kills Hinata really well. It's 1 mana against 4. So even with protection like this, as you can see, you cannot protect it because it's -4/-4 and not destroy effect. Abrade, not a great card. Disdainful Stroke is very good. And one of the problems, so that's why I should have played Jwari 1 turn earlier, so then the coast would be untapped and I would have 1 more mana. That makes it so much easier. Yep. And let's see what he hits. Because right now, after Hinata is dead, we cannot counterspell anymore. So we have plays, but it will be so hard to kill everything. So we can play like this, right? We can... Yeah, I think that's correct play. If he has another Ray, man, I'm just over this. And let's kill the Hullbreaker, because that's the most scary thing. But let's be honest, I would like to kill both. I hope he... Man, like this will be so freaking hard. I just hope he whiffs. He needs to whiff on this attack, because otherwise... Oh man. If he reanimates Hullbreaker, we are freaking dead. Okay. Can we counter this? We can. And we will. That's our only chance to win this game. Do you have an answer? Like, we still need to kill the Lore Horde. So we need very good top deck anyway. By the way, we are losing on the board with the dragon. But if we hit Magma Opus, I think we can win this then. Like, we need a very good draw right now. Are you a very good draw? Not exactly. You ain't. Oh man, that's so hard. So I guess he needs to whiff again. Oh man, that doesn't look great. This draw destroyed us, I think. He has no reason to block this. Oh man, if he does, we might as well pay less mana. No reason not to. It's not like he will not see this, like not react. So you know, if we trade stuff, maybe okay. I shouldn't have played this passage. To be honest, I didn't think so much in advance. I didn't think he will block. Like his Velomachus is game-winning card, and our Hinata is not doing stuff. Man, like he's doing everything he can to give us this win. Like basically he played into every our single card. Like, oh man. What we whiffed is playing Hinata at this time. Yep. And here we go again. Oh man. So the mistake was playing Jwari tapped. But don't worry, if we didn't play Jwari, that would be a try-on, so it would be tapped as well. But yeah, I shouldn't have played her. Or it, or whatever. Definitely decline. And we cannot really play it yet, right? You know what? We are doing this. Oh, we don't need to fake. We actually have card. Are you brave? Oh shit. If he blocks, we are screwed. Oh man, that's good. That's good. See, you can train your own dragon. How to train your dragon. He's a trained one, big boy. But unfortunately we will still lack 1 mana. Yep, that was a good game. That was a good game. Let's see what he hits, just out of curiosity. And then we will discard so he sees what we had. That's also a good draw. We cannot cast it. I think we cannot cast it, right? Yep, we cannot. So, let's give him the treasure. And that was a good game.